customary, what is commonly known, what is good. So you might hear the Muslims, we say a lot, enjoin the good and forbid the evil. We say enjoin the ma'ruf, right? And forbid what? Munkar. Actually, the word munkar is the direct opposite of ma'ruf. Ma'ruf, or urf, we're going to talk about it. Plain home training. That's it. Home training, education, economics, and planned parenting. Now, when we say planned parenting, we're not talking about going to the local high school and making it rain condoms. We're not talking about that's not planned parenting. That's promotion of jahiliyyah and fornication. Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about marriage. Raising little people to be bigger people. And it's been done in the past. It's not nothing foreign to us and our people. Okay? Redirection of autopilot. You know, like you hear some of the speakers and the scholars, they say, particularly about the African American community, we're on autopilot for self-destruction. Right? So you redirect the autopilot by returning to urf or maruf, what is good, what is commonly known. And they call it what, Doc? Social norms. Socially acceptable. And the opposite of that is deviance, social deviance. So what we see is that social deviance has become the norm. They call it the new normal and all that kind of stuff, right? The alternative lifestyles. Purging and purification, the ark. This is a concept that we refer to as the ark. Like with Nuh or Noah, alayhi salam, he was instructed by Allah to build an ark, right? To sort of save the pure among mankind. We have to build these arks. And it doesn't mean you have to ostracize anyone or marginalize yourselves, but you have to create this Islamic bubble. We'll talk about that more. Avoiding oppression and evading the promised punishment of Allah Ta'ala. Contextual necessity of Jamaat continued. The last two bullet points. Jamaat also helps us to attain an ideological consensus and packaging of Islam, right? Because there's many different types of brands of Islam out now. The Ummah is not and will not be exactly like it was in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. That's right. So if that's your mission, give it up. Adopt something real, you know what I mean, and doable. You know what I mean? Adopt something real and doable. Retaining resources of the Muslim community. So when you deal in Jamaat, you have an ideological consensus, right? That means that you're instilling ownership of this religion, ownership of our communities in our young people, right? And similar to events like this, what you all are doing here, bidillah. Inhibitors of Jamaat. So, those things that we just mentioned, alhamdulillah, that sounds all good and dandy, okay? But what are the inhibitors? What types of things hold us back from establishing Jamaat? Lack of imam. Lack of leadership. Now you might say, we have a president of the board. That's not imam necessarily. We have an imam, we pay him $5 an hour, and he gets 3 sick days. That's not imam. Because when your imam gets up on the minbar and he starts putting some heat up under the butts, then he gets a pink slip. I mean, we know how it goes. I mean, we know how it goes. Uncooperative parenting, or tarbiyah, the uncooperative parenting. That means that one parent got to have it his way, and the other parent got to have it her way, and there's no compromise, and then ultimately there's a divorce, and not even a civil divorce. There is a barbaric divorce, a jealous, envious, fasad-like divorce. Du'as, du'as threw across the table, dickers in everybody's face. You know what I mean? Takfir. Oh, she don't believe no more. He don't believe no more. Right? So what happens? Why is that? Why am I talking about that? Not just to spread the evil, but that inhibits, that stops us from establishing Jama'ah. Because if you put effort into raising a family, your friends become my friends. Our children become friends. And then when we split up, what happens? Then you have these kids, yeah, dog, I used to be Muslim. Oh, my dad Muslim. And it happens. We know how it goes, okay? So, but that is something, brothers and sisters, that we have to be conscious of because it inhibits Jamaat. We can't establish Jamaat if that's always happening. Lack of cooperation and parenting. No community, identity, or ownership. That will stop you from establishing Jamaat. If you have a vague community mission, oh, we on Quran and Sunnah. You know what I mean? We on Quran and Sunnah. Okay. What we doing for the youth? You know what I mean? So you know what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, we family. You know what I'm talking about. But the point is, if you don't have a community identity, if you're always getting co-opted, right? If somebody can say, okay, you know, here's some Pakistani Islam. Bam! Force feed. Here's some Saudi Islam. Bam! Force feed. Instead of letting them spread it out for you and letting it naturally develop. But if you let it happen, then you're not establishing Jamaat or community identity or ownership. Because you'll always end up being adopted by other agendas. And what happens is your agenda will get pirated. You know, it'll be like, you know, like how the minor political parties do. The minor political parties, they come out, we got to save the ozone layer. We got to save the environment. And because they're so small, the big parties say, oh, yeah, that's right. We got to save the environment. Everybody says, you're right. Okay? Lack of common agenda. Once again, the community agenda, the Jamaat, has to be clear, has to be unambiguous, and the people have to sign on to it. Thank you.